Good afternoon. Today we're going to take a real quick look at the VLOOKUP function in Excel. The VLOOKUP function in Excel is designed to take data from one spreadsheet or area in Excel and copy that data onto another area in Excel. What it does is it looks up a piece of information that's in one spreadsheet. For example, in our instance, we're going to use the student ID. It then matches it to a student ID in some other table, and then goes across that. Once it finds a matching ID, searches across the list of data to find the element that you want to take from the second sheet and place back in the first sheet. So for our example, we have a list of students from Aeries, and we have their ID, their address, their parent guardian name, and we're going to send a create a mail merge and mail some test scores to the parents of these students. The test scores are not stored in Aeries. They're stored in a separate file that maybe we got from the test vendor or downloaded from our online testing application. How do we merge these two separate pieces of information so that we can then create a mail document to our students' parents? One way to do it would be to go, okay, this student is student number 994-00137. And we look over here for 994-00137. This isn't a fun exercise, and maybe we find it, maybe we don't. And we copy that piece of information over there and then type it over here. That's a long, laborious process. You might be able to stand it if you only have 40 records, but if you have 400 records to do this on, it gets a little tedious. So that's where the VLOOKUP function comes in handy. So I'm going to go into this field and I'm going to type in the function. Every function in Excel starts with an equal sign. Then I'm going to type VLOOKUP. Click on that function. And then to begin, we put a parenthesis. And now VLOOKUP wants us to add additional pieces of information. It wants us to add a lookup value, a table array, and these other items. So the lookup value is the first piece of information that this formula needs. The lookup value is the value in our table, in our set of records, the student ID, that matches an item in the field in the table we're pulling data from. So I'm going to click on student ID. And then I'm going to manually type in a comma, and now you'll see that I have this field, the cell where the student ID is selected, and then this lookup value is now blank, is now no longer bolded. Now I'm putting in the table array. So now I click over to my test scores table, and I click on the column that starts with the matching lookup value, right? The column that has the student IDs in it. And then I drag over and also select all of the columns that I want to search from. In this case, just columns A and B. Click OK, or select those, and now I type in another comma. And now it wants to know the column index. That is the column number that it wants me to return the data from. And the column indexes start numbering from the first column all the way down to however many you've selected. So in this instance, I don't want to return this value. I already have this value in column 1. I want to return the value in column 2, which is the test scores. So I'm going to type in 2 for column 2. Then I'm going to type another comma, and just for ease, it wants us to answer a question, true or false. Always answer false here unless you dig in deeper and know more about what your VLOOKUP function is doing. But for beginners, false is always the option we're going to want to choose. Now that we have all of our arguments, we have our lookup value, we have our table array, our column index, and the answer to that true or false question, which is a range lookup, which is false. I type a close parenthesis, and now I have my entire function is there. I hit my enter key, and now I'm getting a value of 67. So what Excel has done is it's taken this value, gone over to this table, looked for that value in this table, searched it, it went down, it went down, it went down, and found it right here. Went over to the second column in that table, found it was 67, and then returned that value to my formulas, to this cell. So now if I go in Excel and I drag that formula down across all of these values, it's going to look up this value in the other table and return the associated test score. It's going to look up this value, return the associated test score, etc. Now we have all of the data in this worksheet that we want. We can go ahead and use it to mail merge and include the test score with our students' data. And so when when the mail merge runs, we can then put the test score in the text of the document. Hope that's a quick introduction. If you have questions, please feel free to contact the Aeries Help Desk at extension 63212. Thank you.